Ooh, what's the biggest fitness ick if you have one? Oh, I have so many fitness icks. Don't you worry. Am I doing Olympia? Is Olympia coming after? So I wasn't originally gonna say anything, so I was just like, whatever, like it is what it is. But all right, it's been a while since we've caught up, so I figured I would do a Q&A. I posted one on my Instagram story, so I'm gonna answer those questions, plus I think questions that I just genuinely think people are wondering, because on Instagram recently I've been posting a lot of race things, like what things am I up to? So we'll start off with that. Currently not in an off season, I'm currently in prep for Hyrox. We have our first little mini 10K, April 18th, which is the Under Armour one. That one is gonna be my first 10K ever because I've literally never ran more than 5 kilometers in my life, let alone been in a race environment. So I figured I would dip my toes in and try that. May 10th, we have Wings of Strength, which is the Red Bull event, which is raising money for spinal injuries and stuff like that. So if you're in the area, it's a really fun event. Basically a truck or like a Red Bull truck is behind you and you start a certain amount in front of it. And as long as you are in front of the truck, you don't get eliminated and eventually, you know, it'll catch up to you. June 6th, we have Hyrox in New York City, which is really exciting. As long as weather stays good, that one will happen because it is an outdoor event, so it is dependent on weather. But we are doing that one with Jackie, which is gonna be really exciting. You guys are gonna see Jackie in his element, yo. Like, you guys don't realize, like, you think I'm athletic, but he's actually so much more athletic than I am. Like, naturally, he is just a better runner. He's stronger than me. Unfortunately, I have to say that, but he is stronger than me. And I think overall, like, our personalities will go really well because he's someone who, like, is very calm, cool, and collected. And I'm not so much that way, but I almost have that like eager, like go, 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 go energy where like if we start to fall behind, I'll be able to like pick it up for us. So I'm really excited for that. That's gonna be our first fitness thing that we're doing together, plus my first Hyrox in general, as well as his. And then we also have Toronto Hyrox in October 1 to 4. We haven't signed up yet, but we will do that one. And then I have my marathon, October 18th. I've always said, when I'm 30, I'm gonna do a marathon, and I've kept that promise. We are currently 30 in my 30s era. And it's not like I waited till like the end of my 30s to do the marathon. It's like, as soon as I turned 30, I was gonna do it. So that is on October 18th, which is literally, seems far away, but I think that's gonna creep up really fast, and then I'll be like so scared to do it. That is currently my training arc for running, functional training, stuff like that. I'm still doing reformer, Pilates, animal flow, strength training, all that fun stuff. I'm gonna swallow my gum because it's literally in my way. Okay.
Wait, did you actually swallow it?
Yeah.
What the
I know you're not supposed to do that because it lasts in your body for 7 years, but I think it's a lie. It's a myth, for sure. For sure. Biggest life lesson this past year. I think I have a couple. I think I'm gonna say my top 2 lessons are KYP, know your people. My friend Godfrey actually told me this. And I have applied this to all parts of my life, and I feel like I'm just a much happier person. Just don't put extra expectations on people, or don't think people are gonna rise to whatever expectations you have of them, because at the end of the day, everyone is who they are, and not everyone's gonna operate the same way you do. So to expect more from someone, I think you're just setting yourself up for disappointment and frustration. And I think that's where a lot of like arguments and tension comes between friendships, relationships, whatever it may be. So just know your people. There's certain people in my life where I know I can depend on them for this, they're gonna show up at this time, and that's what I know them for. And then I know other people who aren't those people, but I don't expect them to be like the other people. I just take them for who they are, and I just know them for who they are. So I think that has been something that has really shifted my relationships this year and made me a much happier, peaceful person. So I definitely recommend just know your people. It's the best way. My lesson number 2 this year, I think, is I've been very conscious of who I spend my time with this year and like who I really put a lot of effort towards. And that's mainly because I think truly, and it sounds cheesy, but it's like you are the sum of the people you surround yourself with. I think the saying's like the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with, but I don't think that number is necessarily that important. But the people that you choose to make time for, let into your close circle, and like really, you know, spend the most time with, obviously your habits and values and stuff like that really have to align in order for you to like maintain your personality, your characteristics as a person. So I've been just really mindful of the people that I surround myself with are ones that I truly look up to, or ones that I really think like resonate and relate to me. And so that's something that has really helped me, again, like in my personal life and my business life and everything like that. And I think those are the main 2 things that have helped 2026 in general feel very light and happy, because I feel like some other years, you know, it doesn't feel that way. So those are my 2 big life changes or shifts. What's my biggest insecurity? Ooh, this has changed over the years. For the longest time, you guys knew I used to like hate my arms. Like I used to be like, oh my God, don't look, like they're muscular. But now I've actually embraced looking stronger. I think my aesthetic that I'm kind of chasing here is my like running athletic era is like an athlete. And usually when you see athletic people, they have more muscle mass to them. And I think that's a very, to me, aesthetic look. So something that used to be an insecurity isn't anymore. And I think that's just because, oh my God, he's so cute. Oh my God. I just can't. My dog is so cute, genuinely. So something that used to be an insecurity to not being an insecurity, I think just has to go with, one, the trend of like being strong is really important, but just also embracing what your body can do versus like what it looks like. I think my biggest insecurity right now is honestly posting my run time. And I posted something the other day being like, this is your sign that you can post your run time no matter what you're at. Because I feel like a lot of creators just like post these crazy numbers that make all of us feel like shit, not gonna lie. Because even me, I'm fit, I'm in the gym, I've been in the industry for a very long time. But when I run like a 6:37 pace and someone else is on Instagram being like, ran a 4:30 or a 4 minute, I'm just like, yo, I feel like I'm not allowed to post my time unless it's freaking amazing, which I think is like just the toxicity of social media in general. But I think that's my biggest insecurity. I always push myself to post it regardless, because I do think it is something that's important, that not everything I post and not everything I do is going to be top level elite, but I'll eventually hopefully get there. And that's like the main message of like watching my journey and how I improve, which is something I've always wanted to like share. But it is something that every single time I have my Strava time, I'm like, oh my God, do I post it? Do I not post it? So that's currently my biggest like insecurity that I have. Do you ever get injured during the training? I honestly don't typically get injured during training. It's kind of like in between things or when I'm filming. So like for instance, I just gave myself the most wicked ass fucking whiplash I've ever had in my entire life, because apparently I forgot how to like jump into a foam pit, where I was training in LA with Gracie, and I like jumped into the pit and like my body was fine, but like it's almost like my head like compressed and then like snapped back, because I didn't know how to hold my head apparently. I'm like a baby. So I've had whiplash now for like 10 days, which hasn't felt that blessed, but that's typically how I get injured. It's like doing something that's kind of out of the norm, but familiar, if that makes sense, where I'm not that focused. So for instance, if I'm snowboarding or skating, I'm like locked in, because I'm like, I don't do this. I need to be so aware of what my body's doing. But if I'm doing something I'm familiar with, where it's like a gymnastics acrobatic movement, and I'm filming it and I'm not like fully locked in, because I'm like, oh, I know this, that's typically when I get injured. So this is your reminder to stay locked in no matter what you're doing, because that's how injuries happen, and those aren't good. A skill you haven't mastered yet but really want to be able to do. The list is so freaking long. And I'm gonna sound like a broken record, because I swear I say this also in every single Q&A. I wanna get my one arm handstand. We're still training that. We're all on our way. I wanna get my front lever. I wanna get my strict muscle up. I wanna get a 5-kilometer time. This is a new one actually, a 5-kilometer time in under 25 minutes. So if it is like 24:59, I'll take it. That's a win for me. So increasing my running, and then I wanna also be able to do 100 unbroken wall balls, because I really want the Red Bull. I wanna get the pin, because I think on Hyrox you get like a Red Bull 100 wall balls unbroken pin. So of course I want that. And yeah, those are my main goals right now for skills. Other things I want to attain that are like physical skills, but more like mental skills, is my mental strength. So being able to like really push. And something that I talked about with Nate, you guys know him, Nate Biltz. He talked about when you do something that you don't want to do, there's a part in your brain that like every single time you do that task gets like stronger. And it becomes like easier for you then to then complete those hard tasks. And it doesn't only apply to like that specific thing, but like anything hard that you do. However, if you're doing something that you like, but you just don't want to do in that moment, it doesn't do the same type of progress. So for instance, if you're like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym today, but you're someone who likes the gym and you go anyways, that's not going to be the same type of mental growth as if it's like, I hate running and then I go run a 5K. That's where I'll strengthen myself. So I think I really want to work on that attribute. So just really focusing in on things that I know I don't like, but then pushing myself to do it anyways, because I know mentally I'll become a stronger individual. So that's like a mental skill I'm working towards. Ooh, what's the biggest fitness ick, if you have one? Oh, I have so many fitness icks. Don't you worry. These like freaking massive organized closets that influencers make of like all their activewear, which I totally get. I understand. I've been in the industry long enough, almost 10 years now, where we do get a lot of free stuff given to us and a lot of free activewear, especially if you're sponsored by a brand. They just give you so much and you do need to organize it. But this whole like norm of like building your dream closet to be like basically a catalog is just so unrealistic. And I think it gives people the idea that if you don't have this in your fitness life, like you're not really fitness. That's the vibe I get, at least, and I find it really toxic, because I'll tell you this, my fitness stuff is mostly folded up in my drawer. Not visible, not hanging on racks, not color-coded, not one of every single color. Like, truly, if I'm not gonna wear a specific color, I'll either donate it or, like, give it to someone I know, and that's just, like, how it is. But I don't need it, like, published or, like, portrayed on my closet. And also, I think it's weird to show your closet. Like, my closet's also fucking messy. I'm not gonna show you guys my closet and have my like laundry everywhere. So I think it's just like an unrealistic idea of what the perfect life or what it looks like to be put together looks like for a lot of people. And so that's why I think it's toxic, personally. Another toxic thing that I think is on the internet in terms of fitness, honestly, the run thing again. That thing really irks me because I do think there's some people who post their running and they're like, yeah, I did this, this, and this. But it's like, you don't really show proof of it. You're just like saying it to say it. Some people will literally just like sprint their heart out and then post their time being like, yeah, that's me, I'm a runner. And it's like, but you did it once. You don't like continually do it. So I think that's another toxic thing about the internet is that people only show you, again, what they want you to see. And that's been a well-known thing for a very long time. But just keep that in mind. When you're on your fitness journey, whether it's running, lifting, whatever it is, don't necessarily think like this is normal. It's like it's taken them a lot of work to get there, or they're not actually getting there at all. Ooh, how did you and Quack Spots meet? Oh, this is a fun story. I like this one. We met at a creator event, so shout out Wallace and Lisa, because they invited me to like a foodie event, and I was like, bro, I'm fitness. I can't cook for nothing. So I brought Kai Kai cookies. I brought cookies that were homemade by somebody else and brought them to the event, and then Jackie was there. And honestly, this is so funny because I always make fun of him for this. I thought Jackie was like this like cute little chubby boy because he was like in a big sweater, and I was like, oh, like he's so like cute and like whatever. And so we started talking a little bit there, and I feel like we both felt like we made like a good connection, like in terms of just like vibes and energy. So I knew in one way or another we would cross paths again in like the world because we both knew Lisa and Wallace. But actually shortly after I met him, which was December 2023, we went on vacation in LA, the four of us, in January 2024. So it was like a very short distance of like meeting to like hanging out. And in LA is where we kind of like hung out more together, and I got to see more of his personality. He got to see more of my personality. And then I think it's like literally from that where we just like started hanging out, talking every single day and stuff like that. So it was literally one of those cases where it's like, you know those memes where it's like, oh, like one day just hung out with this person and like never stopped hanging out. That's literally how we kind of met and, you know, grew into like a nice little relationship, and we're super happy. So we've done a lot of things together. We've traveled to Hawaii, we've done Korea, Hong Kong, we're doing Japan up and coming. So we've done like a lot of like things outside of normal life, but we also just have fun doing like the mundane things. Like we work out together, we run, we cook food. Like it doesn't matter, I think, what we're doing, but we just enjoy each other's company, and we have like a really strong foundation, which again comes from like that organic meeting. So yeah, that's kind of like a little bit of insight of Jackie, because I know we don't really, oh yeah, because the last Q&A I don't even think I mentioned it. So this is the first Q&A I have. Fun. So fun. If you guys look at my other Q&As, you'll go back to like the relationship questions, me being like, I don't want to date someone until I feel like they are complimentary to my life. So now you know I found someone who's complimentary to my life, and it all worked out. So I think one of the most popular questions I got in my Q&A this time around had to do with Olympia. Questions regarding, am I doing Olympia? Is Olympia coming after all of these races? Like, how does it really coincide? How am I balancing training for Olympia with all these running events? So I wasn't originally going to say anything, so I was just like, whatever, like it is what it is. But we are not competing at Olympia this year. Not because I'm like, I don't want to do it, but it's just I'm in a very different era of my life, and I do really feel like I left 2025 on such a positive note. I feel like everything I needed out of bodybuilding and being on stage really came together in 2025, so I'm really happy to take a step back. The stage will always be there. So whether I go back for like Olympia Masters, Olympia next year, year after, whatever, the stage will be there whenever I do want to return. But for now, I'm really focusing on functional movement. And most importantly, the biggest reason why I kind of want to make this shift is because I want to test my discipline again. That was the whole reason why I got into bodybuilding. And so this time around, I'm testing my discipline if I can do something and stay disciplined when I hate it. Because I don't like running, never been a runner girl ever in my life. Whereas with bodybuilding, I always liked lifting. I always liked, you know, like even doing HIIT. That was something I could manage and I could wrap my head around and be enthusiastic about it. I don't think I've ever been enthusiastic about being like, I'm gonna go run 20K. Like, that's just not me. So this era is truly to see and my discipline, because I felt like I conquered the bodybuilding nutrition, and now it's time to shift it and see what this type of training is like and how well I can really execute, and like what kind of athlete am I really gonna be. Because running, yes, it's hard, but a lot of it's up here. And if, as you guys know, I am mentally weak. So it's gonna be at that point during the races where when I start to feel very fatigued, very tired, and it's like, Can I keep pushing and just be the athlete that I really want to be? So we have no specific goal times in mind right now for anything, but actually, no, that's a lie. I do. What am I talking about? It literally, Hyrox, I want to get, Hyrox, Jackie and I are aiming for sub 115. For my marathon, I want to be somewhere around like 4:30, I think. But in general, I'm also just hoping just to finish a marathon. I really hope that I can just do that. So yeah. How are you mentally, physically, and all of that? I feel like right now mentally, I'm probably in the happiest state I've been. Again, talking back to like the whole like outlook on life and everything. So I think mentally I'm very happy. Physically, I think because I'm trying to do so much right now, I do think my body's a little bit more like achy than it normally is. And I also do feel like for some reason, like bodybuilding for the last 3 years, I was in tip-top shape, literally never got injured. And then now this year, I've definitely faced more little like bumps in the road, not necessarily injuries, but I think mainly a lot of it has to do, and I will say there is so much importance with what you eat. I eat more inflammatory food now. Obviously, I'm not on a diet. Like I literally have mini eggs on my counter. Like I'm eating whatever I want to eat, staying within macros, but they're not clean foods that I know that are easily digestible. So I do think that has a major impact on it. So if I were to change anything going forward to kind of like help me physically, would be going back to like really clean eating, just so like the inflammation can go down and I don't get as much just like random little injuries of like, you know, putting down a dumbbell and being like, oh my God, I threw out my back, which is like so embarrassing, but that literally happened to me. Maybe it's age, don't want to say it, but could be it. But I do think it's more just like being a little bit more aware. So I think physically I'm not at my peak, but I'm happy with that because I'm having so much fun doing everything. And I think that's a really good balance in life and everything like that. So that is it for the Q&A. I feel like I yapped a lot and covered a lot of ground. If you guys have any other questions, drop them below, and we will see you guys next time for the next YouTube video.